What's up, everybody? You're tuned into the new Del C show, and of course, I'm your host, Del C. Man, there's a lot going on. I just watched a little clip from The View with Whoopi Goldberg. She denounced President Trump, which is not a surprise. She said, "You ain't my president, man." You know, I already know how Whoopi always felt about Trump, and somebody was murdered, and I got to get that information. But I got on here to because I've always been about talking music, so I got to get into the music. Um, Carl Calton died at the age of 72. He had a big hit that I grew up listening to, and I was one of the, probably, I think, before anybody did the remix to it or anything like that. Drew Hill did the remix to it with Foxy Brown. She's a Bad Mama Jamma. We had a record player, and I played that song over and over again. Besides Michael Jackson and Rick James and James Brown and Prince and all those people, when that song came out, what it did for me. Ah, ooh, ooh, look at her. She's a bad man, Gemma. Yo, blew my mind. Blew my mind when I heard that song. Blew my mind. So, get the news today that the brother passed. Um, wow. Didn't know it was going to hit me like this. Didn't know it was going to hit me like this. But let me get myself together. Music changes lives, whether it's good or bad. Brother put out positive music. She's a bad mama jamma. This, I remember people, let me get myself together. People in the hood was listening to that song. Um, One of my uncle's friends used to say that when he was describing a woman. But the positive in the soundtracks to your life, maybe when things were not going so right, when things were not going so right in your life, and when you hear music, what it might have done for you. Let me get myself together, man. Y'all think I'm a little soft because I'm over here. But anyways, man, let me get myself together. Anyways, as I was saying, and there was also this song that he has out that's a very popular song too that I did not know that was him. He has a very unique voice. He can do any type of music, R&B, funk, and man, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even know I was going to lose it like that. I just thought I was going to get on here and make this announcement because we play that song at one of my jobs constantly. Now, other people, they're not in my age bracket. Few people are, so they know that song. But a lot of other people, they I don't know if they know who the artist is or know who he is. But he's done the background behind a lot of popular singers, also that you know. But that song, wow, that song, as I was trying to say before I broke down, did so much for me. Is the beat. And when he starts to sing in that smooth voice, it just makes you want to dance. It just makes you want to dance, you know. And for all these years, and I liked when Drew Hill and Foxy Brown, when they did that song. Oh, they did their version of it. You know, keeping him alive. 72, man. He must have a great life. But yeah, I apologize, y'all, for breaking down. You know, I know there's a lot of serious things going on in this world, man. But I had to focus on the music. Like, I gotta look into the other stuff that's going on. Somebody was murdered or whatever recently, and the fact that Trump didn't take the time out to get prayers or anything. Why would somebody like him get prayers? He's not a real Christian. He's a bigot, a rapist, pedophile. But what do we expect? You know what I mean? What do we really expect? But yeah, music does a lot of things to a lot of people, and there was times in my life that I wasn't sure of a lot of things, even as a kid. I mean, I thought that I would be really, really, really doing music the way my love was for music even back then. But when, like I'm telling you, when that song came on, it still does that same thing to me. It still does the same, has that same effect. Just like if you listen to um "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson. When you hear those songs and you hear "Rock With You" or Billie Jean, or but definitely "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." But around this time, the going into the late 70s, going into the 80s, early 80s, when that song came out, I'm telling you, I played that record over and over again. And they had an instrumental part. I would get on there and rap over that. I have no idea where that tape is, because I had all these white tapes or whatever, cassette tapes. I had a microphone on my radio, and I would rap on there. So I rapped something to that song, "Bad Mama Jamma." It didn't have his hook on it or nothing. I just rapped over the beat. But that's how influence, years that was years later, you know, when hip hop got real big, was becoming big or whatever. And I rapped over that. I wish I still had that tape. But music does change lives for the better. You know, it was uplifting. It was uplifting. Yeah, a song about a woman being a bad mama jamma uplifted a brother like me when I was probably going through bullying and everything else that I was probably going through. Thank God for the love of my mother and grandmother, and my father being who he was, being into music too. you know but I was going through some things. I don't know everything I was going through, because that was a long time ago, but when the music came on, it spoke to me. And that song spoke to me. That artist spoke to me. It was a feel good song that you can listen to, even though he's talking about the beauties in a woman. Um, but the way it was put together was incredible. And now I have to go and do my research on some of his other music, because I was so hooked on that that I didn't even know he actually. I knew he had other songs out, but the impact that that song had on me was unbelievable. Um, so let me get into what's going on with the 50s situation, at least with Marlon Wayans. His family told him basically, you're a comedian, basically, to bow out. Basically, this is not your fight. Basically, they didn't say it in those words, but basically that's what they was basically saying to him, like, gracefully bow out of that situation. Because 50 is that's another problem right there. And Marlon Wayans does not want to run into that problem, even though he has a big family that would be down to do whatever with him. You know what I mean? But basically, that's it, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Brandon Grimes, y'all doing your thing. Uh, to everybody out there doing their thing. Um, More power to you. Whatever it is you want to do in life, go out there and pursue it. And I got more stuff to talk about. It's just that I didn't get all the information down that I need, so I can't really talk about it like I want to. But I'll be back, y'all, this week. I'm also going to the Boston Music Awards, so I got to talk about that as well. So I'm out, y'all. Peace. Stay blessed, stay positive. Remember to always let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow's not promised to no man, woman, or child. On that note, I want to say peace out.